Did you know that over 90% of couples who fall into 4 specific habits end up divorced? In this video, I'll explain what they are and how you can stop them from destroying your life. And in case you're wondering, my name is Pastor Colt, and between being a pastor and military chaplain, I've been in ministry now for 10 years, and I've had the honor of doing counseling for the past 4. The research for this was done by relationship expert Dr. John Gottman, and he calls these the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Each of them is extremely damaging to your marriage, but stick around till the end because the final one is the one that statistics show is the biggest predictor of divorce. The first horseman is criticism. Criticism means attacking your partner as a person instead of focusing on what they did. So instead of saying, "You forgot to pick up the milk," you might say, "You're so forgetful. You never remember anything." When criticism is aimed at who your partner is instead of what they did, it cuts deeper and it hurts more. Imagine your partner didn't wash the dishes. You could say, "Hey, could you do the dishes when you get the chance?" Or you could criticize by saying, "You're so lazy. You never step up around here." The second one feels worse because it's not about the dishes. It's about the person and its demeaning. Over time, criticism builds up and your partner may feel judged and unloved. They might even begin to pull away. So if you feel like your conversations always turn into blame and anger, criticism might be behind that. The fix for criticism is a gentle startup. Instead of saying, "You never," say, "I feel," and focus on how you feel and what you need instead of what your partner did wrong. When one partner criticizes the other, it often leads to their spouse practicing the second horseman, which is defensiveness. Defensiveness is a reaction to feeling blamed, but it only adds fuel to the fire. When you're defensive, you avoid taking responsibility. Instead, you make excuses, you blame, or you shift the focus away from yourself. For example, one partner says, "I wish you'd let me know when you're going to be home late. It stresses me out not knowing." A defensive response might sound like, "I work hard every day to come home and have you tell me that I stress you out? My day was hard enough as it is. Besides, did you even get the kids' homework done yet?" This response dismisses the partner's feelings and it shifts focus away from the issue and onto the partner, creating this tension and stopping the conversation from moving forward in a healthy way. Defensiveness keeps problems from getting solved. Both partners feel unheard and nothing gets better. If you're always ready to defend yourself in conversations, defensiveness could be a problem for you. The fix for defensiveness is to take responsibility, even if it's just for a small part of the issue. A simple, "You're right. That wasn't fair to you, and I should have at least called you to let you know," would make a huge difference in that situation. The third horseman is stonewalling, which happens when someone shuts down during an argument. This could look like going silent or even leaving the room or the house. It often happens when someone feels overwhelmed, but it can leave your partner feeling abandoned. Imagine a discussion about money that gets heated and one partner just stops responding or walks out. That's stonewalling. It leaves the conversation to avoid the conflict. Stonewalling creates a distance and it stops issues from getting resolved. If your partner frequently checks out during arguments, stonewalling might be a pattern. I do want to clarify that there is a healthy way to take a break from an argument if it becomes too much, and we call that a timeout, and I'll do a whole separate video on how to do that. The fix for stonewalling is self-soothing. Take a short break and calm down, and then come back to the conversation when you're both ready. Pro tip, I recommend that you make that at least 20 minutes. That's what the research shows. It takes at least 20 minutes for your body and your mind to calm down for most people. The fourth and final horseman is the worst one of all. Dr. Gottman's research has shown that this is the greatest indicator of divorce, and it is contempt. Contempt is when you mock, you roll your eyes, or you act superior. It sends the message that, "I'm better than you." Say your spouse is nervous about a big presentation. Showing contempt might sound like, "Oh, please." You get nervous about literally everything. This doesn't just criticize, it dismisses and belittles them. Contempt is a top predictor of divorce because it kills respect in a marriage, and when respect is gone, love usually follows. A lot of research has gone into this idea of love and respect, and the findings have shown that both husband and wife need to feel loved and respected, but all things are not equal. It is more important that women feel loved and men feel respected. This has honestly been known for over 2,000 years, as the Bible states in Ephesians 5:33. However, each one of you also must love his wife as he loves himself, and the wife must respect her husband. Contempt for either partner often leads to divorce, but you might see the results even faster if it's aimed at the husband. If you see sarcasm, eye-rolling, or disrespect in your relationship, contempt might just be building up. To stop contempt, Build a culture of appreciation by showing thanks for what your partner does, even those small things. This will help to reduce the overall negative feelings. These 4 horsemen, criticism, defensiveness, stonewalling, and contempt, can break down even the strongest marriages if left unchecked. But recognizing them and using these simple fixes can start to turn things around. If you're able to avoid these 4 horsemen, but still haven't figured out how to communicate well with your spouse, check out this next video to save yourself a whole lot of heartache.